Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, Bitchute, the same, True Divine 44, Facebook, again, True Divine 44, and for Twitter and Instagram, it is the True Divine. Any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, follows, greatly appreciated. It all helps me to grow the business side of things and to have more of a family here. The more the merrier, the more diversity, the better for the dialogue that we're trying to open up here. And I appreciate all of you that do all of that and more to help me sustain, help me grow. I do appreciate you all. So this is where I bring you the tarot of the day with the energy of the day to help you guide your day, to help you reach the highest possible potentials, to know the energies within you, around you, and within others, and help you navigate those. So this is for the 5th of January 2020, and get straight into it. So I'm probably going to clarify a little bit more as we go on. Please excuse if you haven't seen me describe why my hand is orange. Well, hands, but in particular, this one is orange on the palm. I was putting on cocoa butter moisturizer, not realizing it was tinted cocoa butter moisturizer. So on a night time, just to be super safe and have my hands nice and soft for videos, for pulling cards, to have them more comfortable in general, I was lathering that stuff on, even going to bed with some gloves on, cotton gloves on, to really let it soak in. And yeah, it's soaked in real good. And I can say it's a real good product because it stays. So I'm still trying to get that off. So for the 5th of January 2020, oh no, yeah, I got my hair cut. I had a nap. My mum woke me up and she used to be a hairdresser. I said, cut my hair, cut it. It's 2021. Take it all off. So she took it all off. I'm always changing my hair, so it does look different. So for the first card, we have, where do we have? On the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. Keeps coming up. This conflict where there are no winners. It is a manufactured conflict, particularly to my brothers and sisters in the US. They are working real hard to have a manufactured conflict brewing today, ready for the 6th of January, where they know there will be no real winners. They know they'll be able to come down hard on the people that are there trying to do something good, and some people that are there that have just got no divinity within and are just wanting to cause havoc. This is all part of the script. I know it's hard to get your mind around that because this is the reason they give us the vote in the UK too. They give us the vote to keep us feeling like we've got some sort of power as to who sits in the seats that make the decisions that govern our lives. We haven't, and that's one of the main major truths that is going to be known in 2021. Whether people like it or not, it's going to be really understood that actually, yeah, the vote was given as a placebo, a placenta, to keep people feeling like they've got that divinity. People in the divinity don't need to vote people in. People are recognized for their worth in the communities as they used to be in ancient times. You would have the people who were the shamans, you would have the people who were the trade, the blacksmith, and that's going back. And to be honest, real ancient times, super genius engineers, scientists, amongst so many other things. So actually, it is part of the psyops that has been in place for too long. And so I would urge anybody and everybody to not be a part of this. It is a spell. It is a way of casting animosity and division between two sectors of the people that right now need to be uniting to say full disclosure now, and full disclosure as to what is going on behind the scenes, What are you working on to distract us so much from right now and make us feel like we have some kind of say, some kind of opinion, some kind of sway? It actually takes away from the very real reality of that we do have a lot of say, we do have a lot of power when we are working together, which is why they work so hard to cause this Five of Swords, to cause this division, cause no real winners on either side of either party, and expect something in the UK to be brewing up too. Things to be ramping up here too regarding arguments, fights breaking out. Now, in your individual lives, it might be today that you have this underlying energy of animosity between people within your family, within your close circle, that it is difficult to observe. Their bag. There's nothing you can do about it. They're entering into this conflict as part of their process of externalizing what is going on right now, rather than working from the within to the without. So again, we've got the Judgment card. I don't know how much more I can say other than this is why we are here. We are here to do something amazing, do something that is powerful, to do something that will be just like, you know, tablets of ancient times will be written about, will be heard about. And it is up to us to stay focused on this amongst all of the distractionary tools and tricks and magic that is going on, to stay focused on this path, this alignment with ourselves, where we have shed everything that would make us enter into such menial distractions, and to go forward with the bigger picture in mind as to why we are here, why we came into this realm at this time, to cause this exciting ripple effect, to release a higher consciousness across the collective. And so we've got the Four of Wands here, but it's in reverse. Four of Swords, sorry, but it's in reverse. And so this is speaking about taking the power back, if it was in its upright, the power back over your mind by making sure to work from the within, so without. And that takes time. It takes time and commitment to etching out of any busy day, time to meditate, however you meditate best, however you connect with yourself best, but taking that time to connect with your truth, with your true essence, to really amp up that discernment and that divinity and sovereignty from within, because therefore it helps you on your path forward in the external, in the reality, and all of the things that you need to let go of are much easier understood during time of meditation, during time of giving yourself time out to get out of the rat race, in order to really connect with your higher truths, your true self, higher self, however you word it, but your essence of you. And so this is where it serves you most, because you might carry things forward that can, you know, trick you into these distractionary tactics, these conflicts and divides. If we are too distracted ourselves in the good work that we want to do, without taking time out to rest. For instance, I hadn't slept. You'll see on my last video, I was like, oh, you know, it looked like I'd been taking something, felt like I'd been taking something, because I was so tired. I didn't sleep, could not sleep. And it's been a few nights on and off like that. And so it's been broken sleep pattern, which happens to me easily, but it's really extreme right now. And it took my mother, to come round and say, go to bed, Jenny, which is what Jenny hardly ever does, especially when it's daytime. I'm like, well, I've got far too much exciting stuff to be getting on with. I could get this done, I could get that done, but actually I wasn't going to be productive at all. I needed to be sent to bed. I needed to be sent to bed to go into the normal meditation that I go into. So I go into intentful sleep, and it meant that it recharged me, gave me some inner standings about myself, gave me some exciting, you know, dream world time. And so this recharged me and kept me focused on my path forward and what I'm here to do and how I can serve myself, my children, and then the collective. And so this is where it sometimes takes a little bit of authority. If you haven't got somebody that's going to take authority for you every now and again, she knows me very, very well, then, you know, you need to take that authority for yourself, to etch that time out, to make that time for yourself, for meditation. And actually at the time when there's so much going on, you think, oh, is that a waste of time because I could get this done or I could get that done in those minutes? You get far more done taking that time out and working from the within to the without. You know, I ended up fixing a pipe that I've been totally failing. This pipe has been winning over me day after day that I've tried to fix it. Bang, got up to date, and I rocked that. I told that pipe exactly where it was going to go and where it was going to stay, and it went and it stayed. And so, you know, you come up with this renewal, and it's important when we're on this path that we have this important purpose to take that time out to renew, recharge, and regenerate, as well as connect with our truths and keep going back in to reconnect, you know, as things change, as the minutes and days and hours and days go by. And so it's actually from that nap, from that sleep, I got up and said, cut my hair, cut it off. It's taken too long to dry. It's taken too long to, you know, do. I want it off for a while. My hair grows real quick. Cut it off. And so even that, it seems like something that is small, but you know, it means I can get the hair, and it just ticks loads of boxes. I can get the hair done quicker. I can get it in better condition. I can have more time. So the very thing that I took time out to do is actually created time. So this is where we do have to be reminded of this and be an authority over ourselves regarding this. I'm constantly having to check myself and get better at this. It's one of the things that I do need to constantly do, especially where sleep is concerned. So I never slept as a baby, didn't cry, didn't wake anybody else up, but I would just sit there playing just as a tiny, tiny baby, apparently, and just hardly ever slept. So it's a program that I came in with for whatever reason, but it is something that I have to be strict. So however that resonates with you, whatever it is that you go so far along the line with, and then you think, damn, I haven't eaten properly, or I haven't taken those nutrients in, or I haven't done that exercise, you know, whatever it is with you that keeps slipping, keep a hold of that and keep a check on that. And so again, another repetitive card. Now I've used these cards for reading in between, and so this is, you know, it's coming up, and I shuffle and clear the cards for anybody who has those questions. And this is the Eight of Swords again. People being locked up in mental attacks, in secular thoughts, in spiraling thoughts, thoughts that speed up as long as you're in this energy of this card. Those thoughts speed up, and they're thoughts that are of limitation, thoughts that are of worry and #fear. And so this is where we see that, you know, today of all days is this ramping up of this fear, of the fear of being arrested, of the fear of the invisible monster, of the fear of impending war, of the fear of which president is going to be the president, no, which person is going to be the president. The list goes on, and it's going to continue to go on. And this is the separation again. This card is in the middle of two very authoritative, yes, informative, yes, firm, yes, but high frequency, definitely. And this card is right smack bang in the middle of it, you know. So there's this observation that a lot of the people who are of high frequency are again witnessing, and we're witnessing this spiral. We're witnessing the true extent of the attack on humanity, particularly going for people that they've already trapped into the fear mind mold. And so we're seeing this, and it's difficult to witness, it's difficult to get a grasp on, it's difficult to not want to step in with certain truths. Now, we see that these messages are being delivered fast and furious today. In particular, look out for another announcement from Boris Johnson. Read between the lines of that. I don't know what that's going to be exactly yet, but there's something to do with the hint of where his steps are going to be going forward. But he's testing the water. He's seeing who he can get into fear, who he can get into conflict also. There's this messenger that's coming in. You see with this card, it's fast, it's furious, and it's of the mind, it's of air, it's of thoughts, it's of words. It's the messenger. Now, this is where some of you might be being affected by people around you that are in this spiral of fear, in this spiral of entrapped thoughts, and you might find that you've got this you're getting attacked by these people. And so it's where it's almost as if they feel comfortable because they can feel your strength, they can feel that you can take a lot more than a lot of the other people around them, so they're giving it all to you. Because they just can't bind themselves up anymore, so they need to get it out somewhere. If you look here in this lady, the only place that isn't wrapped up and tied up and bound is her mouth. And so she's going to be externalizing, or the energy of this person, male or female, is going to be externalizing to the hilt today regarding what spirals they've got going on within, that is of fear, that is of imbalanced thoughts, that is of a hijacked mind, that they're going to be the only esophagus that they've got to come out of it is the mouth. You know, the only orifice, not esophagus, but esophagus too, I suppose. But you know, the only thing they've got to release that with is the mouth. And so we see that even the ground that she's on is red. You know, it's fiery, it's hot. She's not grounding herself. She's just way up here in hijacked thoughts, in spiral-like thoughts. And so this is going to be getting used by a lot of people, some closest to us today. Look out for social media being lit. I've been posting things up on my Facebook and then getting out of there, because there's nothing I can achieve there. There's nothing I can do there right now. Apart from post up my work and hope that the eyes to see and ears to hear, who need to hear it, who can resonate with it, do. And so this is where we need to be, this is where they are being the Knight of Swords, fast, furious, unthinking about what they're saying. But also we need to be the Knight of Swords, in that just because we're of high consciousness, just because we are of high frequency, does not mean that we are an emotional garbage truck, that we are an emotional bin that people can just empty, you know, what they need to externalize into. No, we need to be of authority, like this Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords, it's cut and dry, does not take any shit, does not take any messing around. So if this Knight of Swords realizes that that's what you're doing, that you're not actually seeking real help, you're not even actually giving a cry out for help, you're almost enjoying being in this fear mode because you've gotten addicted to it, then this Knight of Swords energy is going to say, I'm not your garbage truck. You're not looking in the right place. And got space or room for that stuff to be dumped here. And so this is where we do need to be firm, not cruel, not nasty, but it's okay for us to be firm. You know, just because we are of high frequency does not mean that we are, it's not even love and light. let's face it, it's not even love and light to allow somebody else who doesn't really want any real help, who doesn't want to do anything really for themselves, no matter how tragic it is to look at. It's actually not a love and light thing. That's a fallacy to allow yourself to be an emotional garbage truck for whoever and whenever the fancy takes them to empty themselves out. You didn't bind them up, you didn't put them here, you didn't not do the work, you didn't maybe not tell them the truths, you maybe didn't not try and lead them to water. And so it's a fallacy, it's a trick, it's a psyop to say that having compassion means that you are an emotional waste disposal. No, you're actually building up bad karma for you and bad karma for them. By giving them that space when you have wisdom to know better to do that, then you're building up bad karma for them, because eventually, you know, there's going to be some kind of boomerang effect to that, because it's not your emotional waste to own. And actually, because you are being self-deprecating by owning that emotional waste, you are building up karma for yourself. You're affecting your divinity. You're affecting your sovereignty. And that is love and light. To sometimes have the wisdom to have people like this saying, oh, I thought you were all namaste. And saying, well, yeah, I am. That's why I'm telling you this isn't acceptable. This is where, you know, this is the wisdom. That is the higher consciousness. To not worry about what the judgment is of this kind of person that'll say, oh, well, I thought you were all love and light, but you're not letting me, you know, tip myself into you. To not worry about that, because the wisdom is that this person can't even comprehend what you're saying right now. They're in a fearful spiral. And, you know, some might get themselves out of it and some won't. Some are in this spiral for the long run. There was lots of warnings from people like myself, from great astrologers like the Leo King, Marumatu, as well as many other spiritual teachers, to say, get in alignment, get around the right people, be around high frequency people. If you're not high frequency, get high frequency, but choose your lane. Choose your lane. From 2018, 2019, throughout 2020. Why? Because we can't afford to be on our path and not be around for the people who are ready to be delivered of the messages that will help them deliver themselves. We can't come in and be this savior that cuts through this binding, these bound up thoughts, this bound up hijacked mind. And so, but conversely, in this duality, there are people, so don't get despondent, because there are people today that, because of certain disclosures being made, there are people today that are truly receptive to you coming in like the Knight of Swords that all of us want to be, and cutting those chains, those binding, that binding that's around them, so that they can then release themselves, so that they can then have their hands free to be able to take off their own blindfold, to be able to see their own truths. So conversely, you can't write everybody off. That is an energy of today too, in that is absolutely happening. What's something else to say about that is that, you know, it's often the case that we see great evidence in our lives of the people who don't want to be released from being bound, because they can often be louder, they can often be more brash, more unfiltered, you know. Don't be unaware of the effect that you're having of just being you, and strangers either hearing what you're saying or watching how you're being, or even just bouncing into your aura, into your electromagnetic field and feeling that energy. because they are the people that then get contemplative. They go quiet. They want to listen. They want to process. And so this is where we can sometimes feel like we're losing, feel like we're doing nothing as the Knight of Swords, when actually we're doing more than we'll ever know. It's just that these people that we are helping, these people that are being delivered some truths of freedom, about their divinity, about their sovereignty, they're doing exactly what we would want them to do. The process that we've all been through, being quiet, still, contemplative, thoughtful. And so we don't hear them quite so loudly. So know that, and know that in the core of you that that is happening. And so this card is the Two of Cups, and this is this soulmate energy. This is, for me, more the energy of the individual, really, really balancing out beautifully that divine feminine and divine masculine energy. There has been, there is this almost plasma-like tsunami of divine feminine energy birthing itself into the consciousness of those who are ready to be receptive of it. And because of that, because of, Alan Watts saying, the divine feminine being the dark woman manifest, the black blanket sky, the divine feminine energy being the only reason that we can see the action of the beauty of the twinkling stars, being the divine masculine. And I love that. And I know that that's paraphrasing that quote, but you get it. And so through exalting the divine feminine, which was a key component in them flipping the script, demeaning and dissolving the importance of the divine feminine actually being the birthing of creation, and us being reflective of it in these human bodies, this is where immediately they did their job on both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Because where misogyny and sexism was born against the divine feminine, the divine masculine was automatically degrading himself, because he's degrading his own mother, he's degrading his own womb. And conversely, where the women took it on board to be downtrodden, to be less than, immediately degrading the divine feminine degrades the divine masculine. If she's the foundation that the divine masculine stands upon, you're taking out two birds with one stone. Genius. They're lazy. They go the quickest route around, and that was a real quick route of flipping the script and being as to where we find ourselves today. And so this is beautiful, this energy, in that this is creating healing. This is creating this kundalini snake energy of wisdom, healing, inner standing, right up to the sunshine of the Leo, the enlightened one, the fiery action that can then take place because of the balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine within, again, all from within. This is where we see this Page of Wands again, coming up again, different deck. So this is to be light of heart, to be jovial, to be childlike, to be, and again, some of you are going to be astounded by the messages that you get through the children around you, the huge wisdom that comes out of their mouths today. Again, there's something happening with the children today. And so, but also just in your own right, to be light of heart, to be childlike, to be, the cheeky chappy energy, that even amongst all of this, you are not plummeted into this. Even amongst all of this, actually, through the most adverse energy of conflict and divide, we are finding balance and harmony from within. Healing, self-healing, hope, inner standing, enlightenment, and then be like a child, be like the child. And out of the mouths of babes comes wisdom, because this is about us getting back into balance from our inner self so that we can get in balance with nature, with the flow of the seasons. You know, not be long before we can, you know, maybe let go of this. This doesn't reflect, and I got this as a stocking filler thing, but you know, this doesn't reflect nature. This was put on top of, to block, to limit, to box in. You know what kind of day it is. It's been torrential here all day today, so I know what kind of day it is. I know that I can't go out and do much gardening, or you just know. And so this is where getting back into that balance from within, we start to feel that flow of the Page of Wands, to feel that lightheartedness and that easygoing nature. Yeah, I'm very much on a journey, because this page is enthusiastic. Do not take this energy, this laid back energy, for something, or an energy that procrastinates or holds back. It goes forward sometimes a bit too quickly, but it's in flow. You know, this is the kind of energy that meets new people wherever they go, because they're not on such a strict calendar that they think, I've got to get there for this so that I can get this done and get that done and do. They're thinking, you know, we're going that way. Do you want to join? Yeah, of course, that would be the Page of Wands. And so this is where, through finding balance in ourselves and finding communion within ourselves, we find tribe, we find like-minded frequencies. And that's important right now, to be able to be co-creative of the reality that we want to draw in, and to be active in that, to do active group manifestations, to do active things in communion with others that are of the same frequency and same emotional standpoint, and are driven by the same, if not even just similar, ideals of being in flow and liberating ourselves, and truly being able to experience the flow of this realm, the flow of the nature here. So on the bottom of the other deck, the Tower card. Dun, dun, dun. Now I'm going to do a video on this, because so I'm not going to go too far into this regarding the Tower card here, the energy. Basically, we see that lots of towers are coming crumbling down. That people who have been just in this reality and in this reality alone, so disconnected from themselves, from their spirituality, from their true essence, we see that, you know, whilst towers are being ripped down just by this energy of this truth serum, that, you know, they can't keep the truths in, we see that a lot of the people who have just been relying on this reality as their only existence, and this reality alone, this is difficult. Towers come crumbling down. It almost has to happen, because their spiral of fear will be elongated until this tower occurs, until they reach the rock bottom, where their ego, which is this crown here, their crown in glory, their ego gets off. Now, on the collective stage, look out for some sacrificial, not so lambish lambs, regarding, you know, these people, these beings, these people, firstly, from the I, is who've been puppeting more than you know of the politics, particularly in the US. We see that they, you know, have been, that's not to defend a lot of the people in power, but even then we see that they, of course, they've been lulled into a false sense of security. They've had their ego built up. They've been given crowns that, you know, they weren't theirs to carry, that were too heavy for them to carry. but their ego allowed them to believe, these people, that they could carry it. We see today that there's certain, at least 2 sacrificial lambs, that for those to see, it's quite obvious who they are when that occurs. So let me know what you see and what you hear, please. So we see that they are being sacrificed, their ego is being burst quite publicly, and their crown is being knocked off. Now, through this, it's up to those people whether they use the energy of the Tower card as a gift to find the core self again, the true being, the 2 eyes and the pineal gland, so enlightenment, some introspection, in order to be able to look outside of self and then see where their path truly should lie. That's up to them. But for the collective, we see that people who've been so invested in these figures and continue to do so, they refuse to see this. They get bound up even more by this. And the people who are the sacrificial lambs, we see that unfortunately the energy feels like they refuse to see it also. They refuse to use the energy of the Tower card as it should be used for the best potentials, for the best outcome of it, and get locked up, bound up, and end up in real spirals of thoughts. Look out for some talk about some imprisonments today, or conversely some releases from prison that might not make everybody happy. I hope it's Assange. Let's see, is it going to be Assange? Oh, wow, maybe not. Use a different deck rather than keep you waiting while I pick all of that up. Is it going to be Assange? Wow. Well, the House of Cards is definitely falling. Both sides of the seas. It might be, you know. It might just be. We've got all cups and the 4 of Wands. So somebody's coming home, but I asked about Assange. And so is there something that is signed today, if not released today? I don't know, I hope so, because we've got the Queen of Cups. For me, this would be his mother. This, look, she's paying homage to the gods. She's giving of her harvest to the gods as some kind of she's asking here, tied in here, asking for something that is close to her heart. We've got the 3 of Cups, which is celebration, and you see the mother here with her generations of her little boys, you know, one at the breast and one drinking still of the breast milk but out of a chalice. And so that mother's love is never ending, and so the celebration will be real and big if this is the case. And so here we have the 8 of Cups. It feels like it might be. Well, I put out intent that it is, I really do. And the lady involved over in the US soil too. And you know, even Snowden, let's claim the 3. Whether you like them or don't like them, they are locked up for reasons of exposing crimes against humanity. And there is a lot more to come from it, but they're in a place where they're not in a place of power or being able to be supported to do so. And so let's claim this. I'll claim this. I can't ask you guys to. If you want to decide to, leave a comment regarding that if you decide to, and if you don't, absolutely your magic, your decision. So that's the reading for the 5th of January 2020. I'll be getting the Tower card because I am going to go to bed. I am going to be good. So I'll be getting the Tower card, writing on the wall, description, because I think there's been so many Tower moments in 2020, and there's even more Tower moments to come in 2021. I really just had woke up with a understanding even more so, and I had this idea the other day, but in time and stuff, it didn't come to fruition. But I just woke up with this, yeah, you need to do this, because we've had so many Tower moments and there's so many more to come. And the Tower card is abrupt. It's you know, it's shocking. It's not the most comfortable energy to be in, but actually it can give you the greatest gifts. And so I just want people to be prepared with that knowledge, that when they feel these Tower moments or they're witnessing them from a distance, that they don't get swept up in just the fear factor of how the Tower moment does initially feel in most cases, and be able to actually harness and use that energy for all that it's worth, to gain all of its worth. I'm going to be doing something like that on the Devil card too, because there's a lot to do with that, you know, the Devil card coming before the Tower card, and I'll describe that in both of those. So look out for those on the writing on the wall. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I can't thank you all enough for listening to me go on. I love you all. Wholeness and balance.